So, doctor, before you spend months preparing for the MCQE1, and in fact, I have one of the books I use to prepare my students. This is Harrison's Principles of Internal Medicine. Okay, this is just the volume 1, which is a recommended textbook by the Medical Council. Before you spend months reading this book, reading your Toronto notes, your master the boards, and all these things, I want you to know this, that some provinces don't even require MCCQE1 to start the practice ready assessment. Others absolutely do. And if you are thinking, which door will help me? I need you to stay with me because today I'm going to reveal everything. It's a question so many candidates ask about. And so I decided to do this video to break everything down step by step, go through each province one by one. Okay, so today's video is focused on the MCCQE1 in relation to the practice ready assessment. I'm not going to take any detours into other exams, just the MCQE1. And we're going to get straight answers so that you will know exactly what to do. So we're going to start from the west to the east. We're going to go province by province and we're going to see what each province requires. So let's go. First province, British Columbia. For their practice ready assessment program, does British Columbia require MCCQE1 or not? This is the answer. British Columbia does not require MCCQE1. MCQE1 has been removed by British Columbia, and so you can go into the practice ready assessment without it. So the question is this: if British Columbia does not need MCQE1, let's go to another province and find out. So let's go to Alberta. Alberta is another wonderful province, okay, with wonderful resources. When it comes to practice ready assessment and Alberta requests that you do the MCCQE1. It expects the MCQE1 as part of your eligibility. So you realize that Alberta is in the same region as British Columbia, but it has different rules. So now let's think, okay, what about Saskatchewan, where I did my practice ready assessment? Does Saskatchewan require MCCQE1 or not? The answer is very simple. Saskatchewan requires MCCQE1 for the practice ready assessment. And remember that this video is being done in 2025. The rules change as we go on. So maybe down the line, these provinces may change their rules. But as at now, Saskatchewan requires MCCQE1. It's on the checklist you need to know. Okay. Now, what about Manitoba? Manitoba does not require MCCQE1. They've removed MCQE1 for their practice ready assessment pathway. So now that we're done with those provinces, let's go to Central Canada. Central Canada. And we're going to start with Ontario. So you realize that with Ontario's eligibility, they require what they call LMCC. But the LMCC, for you to get it, you need MCQE1. So does Ontario require MCQE1 or not? Yes, Ontario requires MCCQE1. At the same time, you go to the French-speaking province of Canada. We call that Quebec, okay? Quebec, where we speak French. And it's a wonderful language. It's something I really, really want to learn because a lot of candidates ask me, Dr. Bonnie, do you speak French? Do you teach in French? And I'm like, oh, I don't speak French, but I'm going to do my best to learn. So Quebec also states in their requirements that they need the LMCC for you to get your regular permit route. And so LMCC is also obtained by getting MCCQE1. So I will say that Quebec also needs MCQE1. What about New Brunswick? So let's turn our attention to New Brunswick. New Brunswick also states that MCCQE1 is required. It's a requirement. What about Nova Scotia? Nova Scotia. So you realize that Nova Scotia has a program called the PACE program. And I want to draw attention to something. You don't need MCCQE1 to be eligible to apply for the PACE program. In fact, the first time the PACE program was introduced, boom, it was filled up. So they put a pause on it. But if they should open it again, I want you to know that you don't need MCCQE1 to apply. However, when it comes to ranking candidate, if you've written your MCQE1, you've written your NACOSKI, you've written your TDM, your rank goes high. So even though they don't need it, I think the great thing to do is get your MCQE1 because it makes you competitive. Okay, so you will see that the licensing expectations here point to LMCC. If you don't clearly fit an alternative, all I'll say is plan on MCQE1. What about Newfoundland and Labrador? Newfoundland and Labrador requests that you have MCQE1 or an accepted alternative. So to reach the practice ready assessment of Newfoundland and Labrador, you must qualify for a provisional licensure, which will require the MCQE1. So what about Prince Edward Island? You realize that Prince Edward Island and the territories, when I talk about the territories, I mean the Northwest territories, they don't run their own practice ready assessment programs as at now. Okay, so we've gone through a lot and I want to take time and break all that we've done into two lists. So let's lock everything in. I need you to pick your pen and your paper. Let's lock it in. Which provinces do not require MCCQE1 for their practice ready assessment: British Columbia and Manitoba. Which provinces require MCCQE1 for their practice ready assessment, either directly or through the LMCC route? They are Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland and Labrador. So, in all this that we just discussed, I have one straight advice for you. Don't only think about getting into the practice for now. While you are thinking about that, and you can still go ahead and put in your application to provinces like British Columbia and Manitoba, which do not require MCCQE1. However, for the sake of your future and easy mobility, assuming for family reasons you need to leave a province like British Columbia to go to another province, all right, and even for you to get what we call the CCFP later on, which is the Canadian College of Family Physicians exam. That is the board exam for family medicine. So after you've gotten into the system, the exam you write to become a board certified family physician in Canada, what I'll say is think about writing the MCQ. Should you skip MCQ1 if your target is BC or Manitoba? You can, but MCQ1 will give you future mobility because it unlocks the LMCC, which is the licentiate of the Medical Council of Canada, and it keeps your options more open, said that you can move from one province which did not require MCQ1 but you were able to enter, and then you wrote your MCQ1 and you can move to another province if you want for whatever reason. Okay, so it improves your flexibility. So let's go through this again. Let's do a 20-second summary, and I want us to look at what we've just covered. No MCQ1 is needed. British Columbia, Manitoba. MCQ1 is needed. Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland and Labrador. Why should you still consider writing the MCQ1? For the sake of mobility and the LMCC for future transitions into other things. So I want you to do something. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. Comment with your target province and I'll reply with your MCQ1 plan. Or you can skip the MCQ1 route if you are aiming for British Columbia or Manitoba. If this video clarified things for you, I need you to like this video, subscribe this video, share with as many friends as possible and colleagues as possible, and let's all make our practice in Canada and serving the wonderful people of Canada a reality.